you look out at this terrain here, it's something out of Lord of the Rings. I mean, these incredible vegetated mountains, these huge bowls, almost these massive craters. And you got to wonder, why pick a location this remote to build a project this big?
Here in the southwest of China, we are the first ever foreign film crew permitted to record the construction of the most ambitious astronomical instrument in the world. One that will ultimately allow China to see farther into space than anyone has before. China has transformed more quickly over the last 3 decades than any country in modern history. One area where China started far behind is outer space. China launched its first manned mission in 2003, 46 years after Sputnik. But with the government's bold investment in science, China is quickly making up for lost time. Case in point, they intend to be the first nation to put a man on Mars. I'm embarking on my own expedition to visit the world's largest radio telescope. Now, a radio telescope may not look like what you think of when you think telescope. It registers radio waves, not light waves. It hears rather than sees, which means it can detect objects much farther away, unobstructed by visual debris. And the bigger the telescope, the more it can discover.
All of the equipment, all of the parts, all the steel I see has to be brought in thousands of kilometers.
Yes, from eastern part of China.
From the east of China?
Yes.
In order to build a telescope like the one you're building, you can't do it in Beijing, you can't do it in Shanghai, you can't do it in Changsha. Why?
You know, there are many criteria for the site decision. The first, we do not want to remove a large amount of earth and soil and the rockers. That costs a lot. So we need existing natural hole.
The team spent over 10 years looking for the perfect location. A natural depression that would fit the shape of the telescope's reflector, and that was remote enough to escape the electromagnetic noise of civilization.
So, Professor, out of 300 plus candidates, you whittled down to 80 to 8 to 1, and you're telling me that this was the perfect hole to fit your telescope.
Yes. You look at the green, the vegetable, and that is the part which is not touched.
What I'm looking at right now, this hole was not made by a gigantic bomb. You didn't blow up a hole. You didn't dig this thing out.
No.
Literally, the leftover grass right there represents parts you haven't even touched.
You are right. So basically, the profile is perfect wrong.
Perfect. I mean, you got kind of lucky.
It's very wrong. It's very wrong.
Can we actually get on the telescope?
Yeah, of course. Are you afraid of height?
I mean, you know, I have my anxiety issues, but I'm prepared to work through them.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Ooh. And once you get up here, you definitely feel the height of the drop below you. Woo! From here, you get the sort of basic point. This is one humongous steel ring, a circle, basically.
Yes.
From which you're going to suspend the semi-spherical radio telescope.
That's right.
So am I standing in what will be, when completed, the largest spherical radio telescope ever attempted?
Yes, that's right. Can observe faintest object in the universe and the boundary of the universe.
That's amazing. You'll be seeing things that to date on Earth no one has seen as far. This is a huge leap forward for Chinese science. To date, there are no Nobel Prize winners from China for pure scientific research.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But in a sense, does something like this, at this scale, this proportion, kind of speak to a new ambition to participate in the global science field in a different way?
Yeah, we have our dream and our home. We still have the opportunity to provide, to contribute something.